essere di curtini better non story ma vedere forse di room su questo curtini and in fact as you doesn't repeat this totally green white deal so say no green me sky e transizione also this light green is one and considering in fact the last 3-4 days così according to what I read insieme a stessi and I think in pratica it's sure that later late afternoon when it's ready it's the first part of late afternoon late afternoon might become darker bleaker so we have heavier wine and rain gold so let's see we see what will happen this sure it will be this so we say no we imagine so wizards so we see and if it's clear it's can skip today very clear bad if not tragic so si dice non mi dico lui sarà Curtini was what was story what the person is room is the Curtini all difference is the color of the flowers because the color of the flowers the second Curtini was yellow or gold the color of the first one was pink and the flowers of the color of the flowers is the Curtini is not pink is not if it's not pink if isn't pink it's similar really similar non if you can see quella finisce certo bene mi think yes. Or if not from this other, even better, surely better from this other part, the first part of the video, which per usual should you the sky atmosphere, where the sky atmosphere in general from the window. To vedere ragazzi questo nel room so from dico window new it's a curtain with in flowers long flowers mix in plants this is new curtain si tratta non è un cartino solo birthday of the previous curtain that previous birthday the previous curtain beautiful green curtain beautiful but the bench has to rip and the passage on the previous curtain fact and also the rip in general is emit si non è una comment the video should be effort perhaps point at the first comment si comment section non know if you you should see it really well yes from this shot by the shot I showed you here for this curtain is the first part of the video which Perugia I showed you the way the scout scan from there from the other window in the classic room. If not also from this other this a shot simile sul classico shot film non si assicura dei curtini proprio su questo curtini di colore dei curtini in fronte ai caratteristici delle colore dei curtini sistini core meglio channel one day sono in età più vicino and this shot slated to this effect of when the recent regular shooter rosso the recent one with this was effect measure avessi read a little picture sentence a il sono di chiesa lì use for the curtini non sono di chiesa sopra per colore in forse di chiesa non ti cambia esatto non sono di chiesa I use for this curtini sorry but I read also this 4 times and is it a picture sentence si dice but also and always better visible for me it's sentire in this shot ti si consiglia con genere la sigla è conosciuta in attivismo per fortuna in attivismo in festival days of October but it's importantissimo because support effect also date visible and also in case for it also and the special sense for the team because so vale also for it I repeat the special sense ti dice and also in case I led la sì the special sense to use for the team because it's valid also for it I repeat but also and always better visible for me it's sentire green shot at si consegue con la shot E infatti lì, from mythical keyboard and Jack 614 G 625 volts, di che si chiama shot. Yeah, questi molto people, facendo poi si sarebbe che dove sono quelli che esistono. C'è myself, sono schese, e finally, you get breakfast. To the it's, really, general summers, fa quasi il ritmo informatico, tipo l'importante è fare con delle corrette, sembra che street was story, fa come breakfast, fintane sembra, sartito, fintane parte me te fosse es, think trego di trego, sembra che tre, e su sarà ciò. Vabbè, to the bit, really, close, si carriego, today close, si carriego, really, to summers. Era just really obviously. Adesso sono in quote 14 and 10 minutes. L'importing the show is CMS at in some way also the first one with so I'm really young. And as we always say, Rekava sono most beautiful things left in the world. Absolutely. As you know, since many months, I think they should be, most 1 year, this should be done. Beer also lost the control effect of the fragment, this should be done to me. Time to beer, promise to do it 1 day or 1 time, so many times check better to do better the precise detonation strategy things. And for the sudden shots, obviously, the same notes joke, so I took about most 1 year, met some also, and for the sudden shots, for the sudden biscuits are my favorite fact that I remember comes with biscuits, I think it all the best for my steps. Chocolate chip cookies. Oreo cookies, chips, chocolate chips. E ho fatto un mistake, questo ho fatto biscuit, mi sa lì. Parti in particolare, altri things lo userei della lista, ma ti milk factor si shot link ti coffee così. Tu sei squeaky chocolate, fai questo adesso scelta fai obiettivi. Hai scelto, e if I think in last 6 months, 7 months, avevo solo contro il singhese, sono disabilità di video, sono in touch with you, there was a money script, so ti finisce. Now there is one second is brought it one second think 143, 44, 45 days yes so che lo sto code should be the period and I have check with you. So since that moment or that day I pattern insert it one second in micro very good news. Quindi se also the technique of back pass questo bomb last video in particolare so che se last video it's a joke so let's talk about Masonia so of course I'm leaving the first time that video. And if in some way we also consider Tulla, Nicholas Breakfast, or some Marable. Second thing is a Matthias fucking Frabius yesterday, Conan, Italian Syrians, from his at second place position. Magari things later in the di cosa? Altra festa di position for me la Pamma. Italian Syrians, a cosa? A due come ne? Because they are really super bad. Sì, tomorrow is supposed to be dai, come tomorrow, to the leopard. Now I'll see.